Hold on. Interesting. You're live with the Jones Hour.
FedEx. Another fucking.
This episode is called Super Bowl is set, ladies and gentlemen. I'm live with Jonesy 2 times. Jonesy fucking 2 times. How are you feeling?
Oh man, I'm chilling, baby. It's another day. We here. Another. It's beautiful to be alive. You know what I mean? Trying to give out those positive vibes for everybody in the struggle, especially in the motherfucking cold. That's exactly what it is outside right now in NYC. You know what I mean? Snow been here for like a week already. That shit ain't going nowhere. Shit has been miserable. You know what I mean? But we right here, man. Fucking with y'all, man. We right here.
That shit is not trying to. It's not trying to melt right now.
That shit ain't going nowhere, dog. That shit is not going nowhere, bro. And it's like, yo, fuck it. You gotta just push through. You gotta just push through. Word up.
Yes, sir.
But we appreciate you fucking with me. It's me. You already know. But to the left of me on that side, I guess you would see the one and only Acid, producer and editor of the show. You know, now we doing it live on the stream shit. We on some, you know, our show speed shit. You know what I mean? Some other shit right now. Yeah, you already know we fly niggas over here on this side. Fuck that. So we live streaming on IG and YouTube right now every Sunday. And how you been, my brother?
I've been good. I've been hanging in there as well, man. I don't have it as bad as you with your lifestyle, but yeah, man. I'm just trying to survive out there in these cold streets, man.
Facts.
As a native New Yorker, I could only tell, like, I could probably name. I can't even name them, but I can only say that it's probably happened like handful of times. Like, I don't remember that many times where it's been this fucking cold.
Yeah. Yo, it said it went to like -30 overnight.
Yeah.
-30. Like the coldest it's been in like mad long in New York. So that's putting it into perspective. That's why the fucking snow ain't going nowhere. That's why for everybody that's mad talking about the mayor trying to do something to get rid of the snow, like, you can't do nothing.
No, you can't do anything. What are you gonna do?
Like, you unless you're coming around with like hot water hoses and shit trying to melt it. Like,
yeah, no,
that's just gonna turn to fucking ice.
People are gonna hate shit just to hate shit, you know. Hate, you know. And also right now, I feel like
Silky Johnson shit.
Yeah. No, I feel like right now, especially like people are just pissed. Like no one's happy right now. Like there's no, you know, like it's very
Right.
hard to be positive out there right now.
Facts. Shout out to Jay Smooth. You already know. Uh, we need to do a crossover, bro. Right now, bro. Lock it back in. Former guest on the Jones Hour. You already know. That's marvelous blood. You know what I mean? Facts. And yeah, it's freezing all over. Shout out to Greg, the official. I gotta give him his love right now while we still doing the intro to the show. Shout out to the top 5 fantasy football
Top
champ.
five.
Facts. You know what I mean? And you brung him in. So Greg, you should be thanking Ant right now. Facts. That you brung him into the fucking to the league, came in first year, did your thing. You already got your bread. The belt is coming soon. You know what I mean? So that's all I can say. That's all I can say about that. Facts. But yeah, nah, it's been horrible out on these streets. And with my job, man, I know a lot of people been mad at me. So I mean, I'm not even gonna say what I do or whatever it is. If you know, you know. But I'm sorry. That's all I'll say is that. But it's been hard in these streets for me to do my job. But that's it for everything, man. Let's get right into this shit, man. Super Bowl is
All
set,
right.
bro. Super
Yes,
Bowl is
sir.
set. Super Bowl 60 is set. Let's give a round of applause for both teams, man. Seattle Seahawks, New England Patriots. Yeah, you got your flowers, man. You deserve it. I mean, fucking first New England is like, I guess we'll start with them. Like these motherfuckers, right? Like, the fan in us wants to say that. Unless you a Patriot fan, you love Brady or whatever it is. But it's like other than that, it's like, damn, dog. Like you lost Brady, fell off, went through 2 coaches, and look at you. 5 years later, like 6 years later, you back in it. You know what I mean? But like,
I feel like this is the first time though we've seen where they've schemed their way in. They've like this was not in the past. It was like almost like that was a surefire bet. You know what I mean?
facts.
Like no one saw them going to the Super Bowl this year.
No, that's what I'm saying. Nobody saw them, but like, I mean, and they did definitely get an easy schedule. Let's keep it real. You know what I mean? Because when you
Hmm.
think about it, it's like you playing Miami twice, you playing the Jets twice. Yeah, the Bills is who they are, but the Bills wasn't able to do, you know, get it done with the expectation of what they was last year to this year. Vrabel completely turned it around for them in terms of like um the discipline, that leadership. You know what I'm saying? Exactly what we're looking for in the Giants right now, and hopefully, and what Harbaugh could do. But like, he's like arguably almost coach of the year type of shit. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And what he's done with that team, and what they got around him. Shout out Stephon Diggs. He's been a solid receiver, since you've known him, since he's come into the league with Minnesota and whatnot, and now New England, in Buffalo also. You know what I mean? Like, he's proven, you know,
Yeah.
and they got the right pieces. Those 2 running backs is beasts between Travion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson. Their offensive side of the ball, they got some weapons, and
Putting in that work.
yeah, no facts. If you got fantasy, Ramondre, didn't start off that strong, but had decent numbers. But Travion at the end as a rookie, really, I guess you could say, gets comfortable. I think that's what we see a lot with the rookies when they first come into the league. Like, they're projected to have good numbers, but it takes them a couple of games to get used to the speed and whatnot of the
Hmm.
NFL in comparison to college. But he adapted quick, you know what I mean? And he's been he's been a good counter for Ramondre to, keep defenses on their toes. So
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be hard. They're gonna be ready. Let's keep it real. You know what I mean? You got a Vrabel that was on these New England teams. You know what I mean, with Brady. That knew and understood the preparation and uh the film work and the walkthroughs and even the media presence, you know what I mean, and how to deal with that as well, and it's going to be able to feed into these guys. um I'm expecting them to go all out. How do you feel about the Patriots?
Uh, I don't feel any specific way about the Patriots. I just feel like if I had to put my money on this, it would be on the Seahawks. But I can definitely see the Seahawks fucking it up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, let's go to the Seahawks
All
side of it. Let's go to the Seahawks side of it because they do got, let's if this is like the tail of the tape right now between two teams and shit like that. So when you look at the Seattle side of the ball, you know what I mean? Um, Jackson Smith Najigba, for this season at least, clearly top 3 to top 5 wide receiver, if not number 1 or 2 type shit. You know what I mean? Like that's what he's been able to do and whatnot. And in terms of the other pieces around him, you got Kenneth Walker, who's a solid running back, even though Charbonnet got hurt. You know what I mean? So he's going to be somebody that's not going to be a factor. He's not going to be in the game. You know what I mean? But Kenneth Walker is still a decent running back, above average. You know what I mean? Barner is another solid tight end for them. And then Sam Darnold, you know what I mean? Like Sam Darnold right now has the ability to not only cash in, but quiet all the haters and shit like that. You know what I mean? Because when you think about it, that's not my phone. But when you think about it, Sam Darnold, he came
somebody
from the
gonna pick that up.
Discarded. No, yeah, same game. Came from the desk, got discarded. Went to Carolina, got discarded. I believe he was on San Fran, got discarded. Finally ended up in Minnesota. You know what I mean? Last year took them 14 wins, number 1 seed type of shit. You know what I mean? Home field, takes the L in the big game. You know what I mean? Gets shut down. You know what I mean? Now comes to Seattle, gets the same type of treatment of, well, not the same type of treatment because they did sign him. So, but it was more like a show and prove type of contract and not a 14 win, top dollar contract for a quarterback. So when it comes down to it now, he has to show and prove. Comes back, it's another like 14 type, 13 type wins. You know what I mean? With Seattle, it is the 1 seed. Wins those big games now. Wins those big games when they're playing the Rams and San Fran towards the end of the season, where they now need these wins to become hold it to solidify that first number 1 pick. I mean that number 1 seed and playing Seattle, which we know is notorious of fans being loud and making all the noise to distract the team, like the 13th, 12th man. You know what I mean? The 12th man, that's what they're referred to. You know what I mean?
They're
So
annoying.
yeah, and it's loud and we know that type of ruckus and what it is. So,
Yeah.
Sam Darnold, man, he's won these games, with the pressure. And I feel like he deserves it. You know what I mean? I think the rooting fan in me is going for Seattle. Like I'm not gonna root for the Patriots, New England, anything Boston. Let's keep it real. This is a New York podcast. You know what I mean? Pardon me. But at the same time, if the money is putting up, I'm probably taking whatever the points is and picking New England. You know what I mean? I don't know who the favorite is. I can't really tell you on anything like that.
Hey man, it's one of those things that if you put your money on New England, you're probably making your money.
No, I think
like
but I think it's gonna be a close game. I see it. If I'm gonna call it right now, if I'm gonna put my Joe Shadama shit on and call it right now.
Wait, really?
I'm gonna go. Yeah, Joe Shadama right now. Jones Stradamus right now.
Put the hat on. It'll make it better.
Here goes. The Seahawks will beat the Patriots 30-28. That will be the final score. 30-28, Seahawks over the Patriots. You're welcome.
All right.
Close game, decided at the end. You know what I mean?
30-28.
30-28. So
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I feel.
So I put some money on that, and then put a small bet on New England winning. And then if it hits, no matter what, I'm
Dog,
if
if
they
it
win,
hits
no
right
matter
now,
what.
if it hits right now, I should go viral. We should clip it, throw it out there. Predicted the week before the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Everybody watch the Jones Hour. This nigga know what the fuck he talking about. You know what I mean? Like right here. Like we here now. You know what I mean? Just like that. Let's check the IG. Oh, we got a couple of people tapped in. Appreciate y'all for fucking with us. But yeah, man, that's it, bro. That's it. That's my prediction. Seattle wins 30-28. Sam Darnold, Super Bowl MVP. Because it's going to be because of him if they win or not. Let's be real. I think the defenses, when you look on the defensive side of the ball, both teams are pretty much even on what they got. You know what I mean? Like playmakers and position players on the other side. I think Seattle got a real good defense. You know, you got a DeMarcus Lawrence. You know what I mean? That senior
So it's
veteran
the performance
type of
are
player.
May and Sam Darnold.
Yeah, but I mean, let's keep it real, man. May is not hasn't been here. You know what I mean? Like he's like a rookie or a second year. Last year they're not really a playoff team. You know what I mean? Darnold has already been in some of these big games already. You know what I mean? And we're like Drake May has won like that Charger game wasn't really nothing to worry about when they played the Chargers. And then this Denver game when they played Denver, it's like you got a hurt quarterback instead of. You know what I mean? So I don't really think they've had to actually play a formidable team for their run. This might be the easiest run to the fucking Super Bowl we could see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With a team that was just not on your level, and then another team that just got their number one quarterback out for the season with a broken ankle the game before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's not really evening out. You know what I mean? And you know, pressure pipes though. You know what I mean? And we've seen other people like, you know, if it's the New England story all over again, then Drake May is about to be the next Tom Brady. Tom Brady did exactly this. You know what I mean? Where he came into the team, you know, got, you know, had no experience, but was like winning games, and all of a sudden got the ball. You know what I mean? So Drake May would need a Tom Brady type of performance to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't fancy myself a Patriot or like a Patriot lorist. You know what I mean? Like I don't know much of their stories or history and shit. But yeah, I could see where you're coming from with that. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like, but yeah, I totally agree. This is totally up to Sam Darnold to fuck up. You know what I mean?
Where?
It's just totally up to him to fuck up. You know, if he comes to work, you know, and you know, he doesn't fumble under pressure and shit. No puns intended.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna. I mean, that's what it always comes down to, bro. Who's gonna make the least amount of mistakes, and which team could actually capitalize on those mistakes? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, to get an interception and now have the ball in your own red zone, but all of a sudden only get, you know, have to settle for a field goal and then miss the field goal. You know what I mean? It's like no harm, no foul now. You know what I mean? It's just an extra possession, and that's it.
Totally.
So like, things have to fall into place. You know what I mean? But I expect it to be a real good competitive game. You know what I mean? I think these teams are really, really evenly matched when we look at both sides of the ball, and obviously the quarterback play more than anything will decide the winners. But I guess that's obvious, right? Right? Like
Yep.
quarterbacks, you know what I mean? They're the most important position on the team, on the field at all times. You know what I mean? So,
El
but
Capitan.
yeah, but these are some young boys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's not Aaron Rodgers. It's not Mahomes. You know what I mean? It's not somebody that's already been proven. You know,
It's true.
so
True.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess that's it for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man. I personally, I would like to see the Seahawks win. But like I said before, I wouldn't be surprised if they fuck it up.
All right, well,
let's
you
move.
make no. Put your fucking acid Stradamus shit on and fucking make your fucking pick right now. Score and everything. Who wins?
I'm gonna go opposite. I'll go 32-27 Seahawks.
32-27. Oh, okay. I like it. It.
I don't have
Still,
any
it's
ad
still
acid
relevant.
hat.
Yeah, but that's still relatively close. Like it's a one possession game. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not like a blowout or something like that. I'm not really anticipating that. You know what I mean? But let's get into like NBA, bro.
Oh yeah. All right. Knicks and Dimes. Brought to you by us. For right now. What's up? All right, where do you want to start with it?
The realest people in the room.
The realest people in the room.
We got to start with, I guess, this little winning streak since the meeting.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Like we know they had a players only meeting. You know what I mean? I think there was some accountability that was talked about in that meeting. You know what I mean? I think we also get to see a little bit of why Tibbs was so short on the roster leash. You know what I mean? I think we've seen some problems with Brown getting people minutes, as we've seen, like, Kolick and Clarkson, how we was talking about this two weeks ago, being, contributors on the offense, you know what I mean? And then now all of a sudden them not really getting as much burn as they once were. You know what I mean? So I think that has become, some of the gripes also with the team. I think also, I think I've also seen some things, I don't know about you, but I've also seen some things about Cat being a little bit disengaged with some of the trade talks and rumors that's going around involving him and other players, a week before this deadline as we approach it. Well, today's the 1st, so 4 days from now. I think it's the 5th is the deadline, Thursday.
Yep.
So we're seeing that as, a player that I think feels like I'm part of the reason why you went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year, so much so that I was made All NBA, and now you're so quick and willing to like just get rid of me or trade me, that is like, why am I going to try so hard for them? You know what I mean? Why am I going to go so hard for a team that's looking to trade me? You know what I mean? After we just had all the success. You know what I mean? And I think that's why you're seeing some of the play from Cat. But also, putting on, where it's like, I'm still capable, where he had 20-something rebounds the other night in one game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, like I said, since that meeting, I think they're like 4 or 5-0. You know what I mean? And
yeah, we've been 5-0 since the meeting. I think mainly people's gripes with him is his driving percentages, his paint percentages, both of which have dipped and not drastically, but when both dip, and most of the time when those things happen, they turn to like really ugly ass turnovers. You know what I mean? Like, well, he'll drive and then he'll get jammed up, and then the ball will spit out, and then he'll turn it over,
Yeah.
or something like that. You know, so now it's like almost like there's a, you remember that compilation that we brought up with what's his face, with Beyblade, the spin god, getting jammed up before he got traded for Cat. You know, yeah, and it's the same thing. You know, like now there's compilations of him getting jammed up on the drive. You know, and but I mean, I personally, I feel like his gripe has always been just being a weird positional player, because he's not a center and he's not a power forward. You know, like he's legitly neither. You know, and he's just a really, really big, small forward. You know, like, and like I always just kind of felt like that was his game, but even then he's a little too slow. You know, like it's not like he's fucking breaking pace and like he's able to be like up the floor like Giannis or some shit. You know what I mean? Like he's a slower center power forward, you know.
But he's known to be that trailer on the fast break and bang that three. You know what I mean? And things like
no, 100%. But to him driving in and banging it in, pause, you know, or any of that, like just being a bully in the paint is not his MO. You know,
no, it's not.
And when we have a system where ultimately he's the starting center, you know, we basically put him in a position where he has to be that, or we don't have that. And like, so he's getting a lot of the blame for us being so bad defensively, you know. And I don't think that's necessarily his fault. I think it's positionally like a fault, you know. Like Mitch should be playing full minutes. Like Mitch should stop being on restrictions. You know, like if he gets,
and he doesn't want to be on restrictions. I think he's already publicly said that. He's like, I want to play more, but this is what it is. So it's like there's nothing much I can really do about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm fine.
And he's proven he's fucking solid. And yes, there will be some moment of fluidity and gelling that would have to take place. You know what I mean? Where basically like Cat figures out how to be a fucking power forward again. But to say that he doesn't know how to do that, he was fucking a power forward for how long in Minnesota under Rudy Gobert?
Yeah.
And the only reason why they got Rudy is because he's a fucking shitty center in the first place.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? So like, if legitly, his previous team, he was a power forward. He should not be fucking playing center. I'm sorry. Like, let's stop this. Let's stop this fucking dumbass shit. You know, but I think a lot of it is hoopla as well. Like, it's not like the NBA media has a lot to talk about. You know, like, I mean, we do have stuff to talk about, but they rather talk about A, B, and C and D, you know, and that's what we're worried about instead of talking about the Kawhi shit or any of the other shit that happened earlier this year. But like, but everyone's talking about Giannis, you know, and no matter what, you are gonna be a good trade target for Giannis. It doesn't matter, bro. This is
you know what it is? A lot of it comes from the money. A lot of it comes up with the money. That's one. Two, I mean, it's like Giannis is like an all-world player, and he's way better than you. So any team that had the ability to get Giannis is going to do it. So you got to understand that one as like that's just a business aspect of the shit. You know what I mean? You're not top 3, top 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's top 5. You know what I mean? So show respect and it is what it is. Also, it's like Giannis has already publicly said he would love to play in New York. He wants to come to New York. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you guys play the same position. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, granted, I could understand if you would be like, yo, let's keep me and him. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, in a perfect world, that could work. And we'd also be able to keep fucking OG Bridges and fucking Brunson, too. You know what I mean? But, like, that's not it. That's not it. The only way that happens is if we wait. You know what I mean?
And I'd rather do that. at this point,
Yeah.
and we've talked about this before.
Only to the end of
it makes no
all right.
sense to blow up our team right now.
Yeah, I take it like this. Here's the thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
If Giannis stays in Milwaukee and doesn't get dealt at the trade deadline, then I will say that the waiting is going to be worth it, because then we'll have Milwaukee will know exactly what we'll be able to offer them in terms of picks and assets, for Giannis, and see if that's even, a possibility to make. You know what I mean? But if he does get dealt at the trade deadline and we don't get him, and he goes to like a Miami or a Golden State or even Minnesota, because those are the top 3 teams that I've heard in it as, teams that could get it done. But also all 3 of those teams, including us, need a 3rd or a 4th team to get into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need a Portland to get into it. We need a New Orleans Pelicans to get into it. You know what I mean? Like these type of teams. So also join in to make it happen where it could work for everybody. And now it's a 4-team trade. It's fucking 13 players being moved to different teams, but we get Giannis. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. But we're giving up, who we need to give up. Which is probably.
See, I don't like the packages, and that's the thing. Like if it was a clean Cat Giannis money or clean Cat,
the perfect money would actually work out if it's like Cat and Jordan Clarkson for Giannis straight up, like, or like Miles McBride. McBride. If you look at some of the stories that are out there, McBride is one of those most lucrative contracts that are out there as a player that does what he does number wise and is getting paid the amount of money that he does to get it done. You know what I mean? Because we're talking about somebody that makes like not even $5 million a year, if that, and is done and does so much for what the Knicks do in their rotation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's going to be someone of value. Cat because of the money, or OG. That's the other thing. You give up, Bridges only because it's like.
I think
here's like.
I don't think that OG would be part of the package just off the get that he's our highest paid contract. So
yeah, but
literally
it's all about the money.
He's
match.
getting paid.
He's getting
paid Giannis. I understand that, but he's getting paid Giannis money. So if we're giving out Cat and OG.
No, it wouldn't be Cat and OG. It would just be OG and somebody else. No, Cat and OG, they would have to be giving us players. They would be after giving us like 2 or 3 players. Like, that's way too much.
We would have to get like Giannis and Miles.
Like and Miles Turner or some shit. Yeah. But like though that's like I said, it's not gonna happen straight up because of that. Because why would Milwaukee try to give up their best fucking asset to only get back that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why they're looking to rebuild and they're looking to put up picks and get picks. So that's what I say when you get a Miles McBride, somebody that's young, somebody that could start in, be your starting 2 or 1 with good defense and hit shots. That's somebody you're going to be wanting to be into. Even a Kolek as well. You know what I mean? When we look at it, like, like people like Karl Anthony Towns or OG are only in the contract because of the money situation to match. Yeah. You know what I mean? Nothing else more than that. You know what I mean? And like Milwaukee probably wouldn't want a Karl Anthony Towns right now because they would want to be shitty. Like Giannis is going to be out for the next 6 weeks. Why would they want to get Cat? And now Cat helps them win games. They're looking to probably be in the run for a top 5 pick in the draft, if not better than that. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Rev. Also shout out to Mike the GOAT. He says he don't play defense, bro. We need Mitch for the playoffs.
Now we
do. We totally agree. We totally agree.
Yeah, well, because if you remember the Indiana series, that last game versus Indiana, Mitchell Robinson was the best player on the Knicks court that game. He stepped up. He offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, block shots, switching, forcing, people to like adjust in the air and take bad shots because they didn't want to get like, blocked or whatever like that. You know what I mean? Like we talking about the catalyst of our team, the best player that showed up in that last game when it was like win or go home. He was the only one was like, yo, I'm not trying to go home. You know what I mean? And he knows that, you know what I mean? But he also understands the factor of what it is with his injuries and why they're so close to it, because we need him in the playoffs. We need him in the playoffs. When we had him and he got hurt against Philadelphia, they took us to Game 7 and we wound up winning when Embiid hurt him and everything like that. But the next series we couldn't compete without him. You know what I mean? Because of what he does, because of all the opportunities that he gives us, especially on the offensive side of the ball. We're talking about that the best offensive rebounder in the game right now. Period.
Instead of
my bad.
No, you're good. I'm cutting you off right now. I think the solution right now is this. All right, and I don't want to make it so fucking bland and stupid, but this is it right here. It's not Giannis. All right, we are on a 5-game winning streak. It seems like we're playing NBA Cup Knicks basketball, but outside of that, for the Giannis situation, not even Giannis situation, for the Mitch situation, if that's what we want, then yes, we should be putting on restrictions. But if that's the situation, the solution should not be having Cat as our center. That should not be the situation. Mitch should be our starting center, and we need a good backup center. Now, we have time and a window to make a trade right now, all right? We have pieces to actually deal away to get a good, decent backup center.
Yeah, I was looking at some reports and actually making a trade with New Orleans, getting Jose Alvarado, who's actually a Queens cat, so shout out to him. And also there's their big man. I don't even know if I'm saying it. Misi Eves, his first name Yves, Misi Missi, Misi. So it's another big man, and I've picked him up a couple of times on fantasy. So he actually does put up some decent numbers and has, had big rebounding games so far this season.
Yeah, and that's what we need. Again. We need just a solid board guy. We need a solid board guy and occasional pick and roll alley-oop situations. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need much from a backup center. You know what I mean? We don't. But ultimately, I want the perfect scenario is having Mitch as our starting 5. In my eye, he doesn't have to play majority of the game as the 5. But you basically let it be known to the center that's coming in, hey, you're going to be a backup, but you're going to be playing like just the same amount of minutes as them, So like, and just split it down the middle, and then there's no, hey, playoff time, he's going to be getting the minutes, like, and also like, that's a talking to him, you know what I mean? Like any backup centers here, when you get to the playoffs, bro, like see what happened to Hartenstein. You know what I mean? Like, you just put that work in right fucking moment, right time. You'll blow the hell up. Then you're getting a top contract in the fucking league. Like.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Just
look at Hartenstein.
Well, I had pulled up the standings because we back in the 2 seed, but we're tied actually with Boston. So we must just have it based off of of some sort of standing or win games won. You know what I'm saying? Because we're both 30 and 18, 5.5 behind Detroit, but we're the 2 and they're the 3. Toronto 29 and 21. They came out of nowhere. I did not have them on my radar of teams at all being even in the play-in. You know what I mean? I don't know what I was missing over there or what they've been doing. Shout out to them though. They've been doing their thing.
Hey man,
and you know what I mean. And now you see quickly RJ Barrett. You know what I mean?
Right now,
even though Barrett's been hurt, and quickly kind of fell off.
Pretty much.
I don't think he's pretty much been getting no burn.
Outside of the Hornets, we are the hottest team in the East right now. So I will take the upside. I'll take the arrow pointing up and not down. I was I'm pretty depressed about that shit for a while.
Where yeah, shout out to Hornets, but they're the 11. They
No,
not
they
even
are
in the
the
play.
11th, but they're in a
But they
six.
8 and
They're in a
2.
6-game
Yeah, a
winning.
6-game winning
They're,
streak. Yeah.
yep.
So they made
They have the
Concanopal. They got
highest point.
Concanopal.
Yeah,
He's
but
a
they also
rookie
right
shooting
now
guard.
highest point differential in the East right now
Yeah.
in the last couple of months. So they
Yeah, they are.
seem to be doing their thing, and you are right. Like that kid is fire.
He's lights out. He's shooting
Yeah,
crazy. He's
putting
shooting crazy.
giving Cooper Flag a run for rookie of the
Rookie
year.
of the year. Even though Cooper Flag, they played each other. Cooper Flag dropped 49. This other kid dropped 37. But, Hornets get the victory over the Mavs. You know what I mean? And the Mavs, man, they're struggling. I mean, I checked the
We'll get
Western
into it.
Conference, and they're also 11. So it's like you can't even go by best team, and shit like that because fucking the Mavericks and the Hornets are both the 11 seed with these kids going off. And I think part of that is because of all the minutes that they're getting. You know what I mean? Not having Kyrie where Cooper Flag is playing the fucking point guard, and not having AD because of injury and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Hey man,
You got
he seems
a lot
to
of
be
young
doing his
boys.
thing. Both seem to be fire. Both have different games, Avi. But this kid on the Hornets, man, his shooting is crazy,
Mhm.
and that's right now. That's what's winning. That's what's winning games, and that's what it's all about, in the NBA right now is fucking shooting
Facts.
threes. And this kid
Mhm.
has the highest 3-point percentage for his age, in NBA history. So,
Right.
shout outs to him.
Facts.
Man.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to my man Johnny. Happy born day, my brother. Checking in
good,
on
Johnny?
the ID. On the IG right now. But yeah, so we talking about the rookie of the year and shit like that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so we're gonna see who they both nice though. They both really nice. Two white boys, right?
Yeah.
Turn it up. Turning the
Yeah,
fuck
man.
up.
Who would have thought this would be the conversation right now?
Yeah, but they nice, right? They nice, yo. But on the Western
And
Conference,
leave it. It's always white on white crime. You know what I mean?
right?
Eminem always beef with other white rappers. You know what I mean?
Where the crime nobody talks about. You know what I mean? The category nobody talks about and shit. But in the West, Thunder 1, Nuggets 2, Nuggets. When you look at that, fucking Jokic we just heard comes back 31-point double W. You know what I mean? Spurs killing with Wemby, even though
Oh,
they got a lot of
can we talk
pieces.
about that real quick?
But
As someone that has Jokic on his fantasy team,
mhm.
I think it's fucking hilarious that this guy gets to just take a whole month off. He just took a month off.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like memes and shit on the internet basically just pointing out like this guy is like just taking the month off. Like there's no real evidence of any injury. He's he's going home. It's the holidays. He's taking a fucking holiday break. He'll be back. And they posted like he'll be reevaluated in 4 weeks. And literally that when that reevaluation happened, he just played. And he did what he did. Dude, the Yahoo, like literally, like the announcement that him playing was like right before he went from IL to fucking like that, and you're like, oh, get the fuck out of here, really?
Facts.
Hey, man, and take the month off, you come back, crush it.
Yeah, well, when you're like fucking not for nothing, he could have been the MVP like fucking 6 years in a row right now. You know what I mean? And they just chose to give other people love. You know what I mean? Like Embiid and everybody else, Shea, SGA. You know what I mean? But this motherfucker been fucking averaging fucking almost triple double numbers like for the past 5 years in a row. Yep. So let's be real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, but the West is crazy. Fucking Spurs is the 3. Rockets was Sengun. He's like a baby Jokic. With the numbers he puts up every week with plus Durant. They're the 4 seed, 30-17. Timberwolves, 31-19. Lakers, who the Knicks play tonight. You know what I mean? At the Garden, I believe. You know what I mean? Lakers, the 6 seed, 29-18. Suns, 30-19. Suns came out of nowhere. You know what I mean? I think they're for the last couple of years. I mean, let me take that back. Ever since they lost to Milwaukee in the finals with Durant and them, I think they've just been on decline and not trying to find their identity and who they are as a team. You know what I mean? But now I think they've really got it back together in who they are, the Suns. So
Yeah, I mean, I think they fucked up. They noticed they fucked up, and they were like, we need to cut the fat and just take our L. And that's what they did. And ultimately, in the long run, usually when you do that quick, yeah, you do take the L. Yes, you do fall back, but the rehab on the time is way quicker. Do I see them being a threat in the West this year in the playoffs? No, but are they in a position now to start getting like nasty again? 100%. They had fucking D Book, and you're gonna put D Book in his prime with fucking Bradley Beal. The fuck are you doing, bro?
But it was Beal and Durant though. It was supposed to be, but just Beal never was there.
I listen. I understand that, but and yeah, you could put some blame on KD because KD shows up when he wants to. You could see that with the Rockets right now. You know what I mean? Not saying he's playing on and off days. No, he showed up on the Rockets and he was like, "No, I'm gonna be nasty," because no one thinks I'm gonna be nasty. So that's like he's just showing up and he's like, I'm on fucking Phoenix. I don't even want to be here, bro. So that's I think a big portion of that is that when it came down to KD. And then I think for Beal, it's just Beal's Beal. And you overpaid Beal, and everyone knew on the team that you were overpaying Beal. So then it creates an atmosphere where all your role players are like, "Fuck this dude," So dog, and then he literally just like, "Nah, we're getting rid of both," just get rid of them, and that's smart. That was fucking smart.
Now you see what happened. I mean. And what they've turned out to be in right now and everything like that, yeah, you're right, they're smart and shit like that. But in the moment, it's like you have D Book, someone that's already scored 70. You know what I mean? You got a Bradley Beal who's basically a person looking to be a scoring champion almost with Washington. You know what I mean? And then you have the ability to bring Kevin Durant, who's one of like the most purest scorers in NBA history altogether, and thinking is gonna amount to something while doing that, like you're giving up your immediate future. You know what I mean? You're giving up these draft picks, or you're giving up these young players, you know what I mean, to try to get this together. And what's like we see that with Dallas right now. You know what I mean? It's just that they got blessed with the number 1 pick after the fact. You know what I mean? After giving Luka. You know what I mean? But that's what we see a lot of times where like a team is close and they're trying to win now as opposed to, win in the long run and keep players around and build that foundation to actually be someone that will be in, a team that will be, competitive, for that championship. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
But excuse me. When I look, I just want to go through one more thing in the standings in the West. We have Suns 30-19 as the 7th seed, Warriors 27-23 as the 8th seed. But then you have a fall off of Portland and the Clippers at 23-26 and 22-25, both 15 games behind. and 3.5 behind the play. 3.5 behind Washington. Golden State. Excuse me. We need to get this fucking roadcaster back so I could fucking mute my fucking coughing when I can't fucking talk. But that's technical difficulty. Sorry about y'all. That's fucking with the live. I had to hear me fucking coughing on the fucking microphone. Another team that's hot. This is why I'm bringing this up, because we were talking about teams that were hot in the East. The Clippers are 8-2 in their last 10 as well, and are on the come up. You know what I mean? And you see Kawhi and James Harden, which, I mean, for me on a personal level, two of the most overrated players in NBA history. Like two of the most players that I cannot fucking stand. You know what I mean? Yeah, you want to go into the rant mode? We could do that. Fucking Kawhi riding Spurs and that whole team, but getting an MVP of going hard, but then being so fucking frail and such a bitch that you didn't want to fucking play for the Spurs for the last like fucking 2 years or whatever, talking about some fucking frail ass injury that nobody even fucking ever believed that you have. And then fucking James Harden, like, motherfucking been fucking traveling the whole fucking time with this fucking how you have a hop step jump shot, motherfucker. Like, oh my God, like I've been playing ball my whole fucking life, nigga. Yeah, I've been playing ball my whole fucking life, dog. I've been to basketball camps and leagues and fucking tournaments and all type of shit. You're not gonna fucking tell me nothing about fucking playing basketball. And your bitch ass is in a fucking hop step jump shot, hitting a fucking 3-pointer that's like everybody's jumping because the fucking instinct tells you is like you're not allowed to take another fucking step, but yeah, you do it, and the fucking refs are there like, yeah, let's give it to him. And this motherfucker, like, when you see his fucking numbers now when it comes to fucking scoring and 3-pointers made, this motherfucker is like 2 and 3-pointers made. Bitch. You son of a bitch. You, James Harden, in my book, I don't give a fuck what the numbers say. You are not a better shooter than fucking Ray Allen or Reggie Miller. You out of your fucking mind. And this motherfucker's here like 30 fucking step jump shot.
Grab.
What the fuck? You look like fucking...
Grab.
You look like fucking old hot sauce and fucking N1 mixtapes. Niggas carrying the ball and then doing a crazy fucking crossover. Like, yeah, nigga, you took 45 steps before it. How are you not gonna catch me? You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, I can't stand them two motherfuckers, bro.
Touché.
Kawhi Leonard. Like, nigga, you've been fucking hurt. You've been hurt for the last 4.5 years. Now all of a sudden you think you the fucking man? Because you got a ring with Toronto and ring with the Spurs, and you got these crazy runs and all of this shit. Fuck out of here.
It's time to put up or shut up for him.
I can't stand him. So those two players,
with all the shit going on, with their, with the investigation and shit, like, I think that it would be quite smart for him to start getting real good at basketball again.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't even care about that. I'm talking about purely playing. Them two motherfuckers is the two most overrated players in the fucking NBA. That's my opinion. Fucking say how the fuck you want to take it, dog. At least we know they'll probably never be on the Jones Hour, but it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. I cannot tolerate that shit. I cannot tolerate that shit.
I like James Harden.
Oh my God. And the slow down fast break layup where it's like you go from fucking 30 miles an hour to fucking 4 to try to draw a fucking foul. This motherfucking getting 27 free throws a game. Like, suck my dick, bro.
Everyone's talking about fantasy as well. He's one of my favorite fantasy fucking players,
No. Fantasy, he the man. I give him that.
He's the man, bro.
Fantasy, you cash in. Yeah. Like all those numbers, all that shit, but all that shit is skewed. When I see these all-time lists and where he's at and everything like that, knowing that he was fucking whatever, bro. Fuck the Clippers. But they might come up though. They might come up though. That was the whole point of me saying it.
Crap.
Yeah, because you know what? I forgot that it was those two bitch ass niggas on the fucking team. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, yeah, the fucking Clippers, bro. Yeah, they coming up. And then when I look at it, I start thinking about who's on the team right now. Mid fucking live thought is like, oh no, it's them two. Like, fuck them. You know what I mean?
Shit.
Yeah. Fucker. Anyway, it is what it is. We I guess that's it. For NBA, man. Baloncesto.
All right, man.
Facts.
Yeah. You want to get into the fight?
Yeah. So last night,
Mhm.
shout outs to Shakur Stevenson with the W against Teofimo Lopez, somebody that is now a 4-division champion, featherweight, junior lightweight, and junior welterweight. You know what I mean? I mean, he the one right now. You know what I mean? And the only now, like, the one thing with boxing that we could say over I guess you could say the last decade and a half, because I mean, you know, maybe before that, it is what it is. But let me just make my point. And the last and that time is like the number one boxer changes. You know what I mean? And you get their number one contender who's right there. And it becomes like the fight you want to see, like i.e. Pacquiao Mayweather. You know what I mean? But it doesn't really come down and happen at the time that you want it, with the example of that same fight really coming maybe 4 or 5 years past the prime of what the height of that fight would have been. You know what I mean? In terms of what Mayweather was and what Pacquiao was doing at that time. That we wanted to fight, not at the time that it actually happened. You know what I mean? And now we have this Shakur Stevenson who's been knocking niggas out and taking names. You know what I mean? Or fights. You know what I mean? And you know who's the next on his list that needs to go down? Or the fight that we need now is Tank Davis.
Okay.
Javante Tank Davis. Now, the sports fan in me, the boxing fan in me, wants to see this fight. You know what I mean? These is two heavy hitters. Like, we need that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, dog, like, Javante Davis, like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing, like, outside of the ring? Like, this has been, like, all we hear is fucking domestic abuse fucking allegations against you, bro.
Yep.
Like, you can't keep your hands off the women and shit like that? What's wrong with you? You know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of like hurting your name and your legacy and whatnot, and what you could be building and what you could be because of, you know, your outside of the ring shenanigans is taken away from the type of fighter you are inside of the ring and what we've seen. But Shakur ain't gonna deal with that shit. So I think that's the next fight we need to see. Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis. I mean, shout out to Bud Crawford and shit like that. He's somebody, but I think he's recently retired based off of some of the shit that we've seen that go down and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, like, we need to see them fight these fights while it, I made that point before about the Mayweather and Pacquiao to say that we need to see these fights in the moment as
it
like
diminishes
building.
Yeah, it diminishes the sport itself, the product. It's, you know, it basically it dampers the product when you do that. You know,
Right.
If you basically say, imagine in football, you know, or basketball, you know, you had a rivalry, like a heated rivalry you know,
Right.
and you were like, oh, they'll play again in like 10 years. Or you basically would say, oh, they might play again next year, you know, and
Right.
then they would go, next year rolls around and they're like, nah, one team didn't come to terms, and no one would want to watch fucking football or basketball or any of those fucking sports, you know? So like I look at it like it's one of those things, and the best rivalries that were in existence in boxing, you basically had these fights like once every year to once every 16 months. You know, like they would go back to back to back with these fights. You know, you would have like a trilogy of fucking fights off of, you know, in 5 years. You would have 3
Right.
fights.
Right.
You know,
Facts.
and it basically would make like this actual real heated entertainment, and people you know, having a conversation, and you kept people's attention, you know. There's way too much shit going on right now, bro. You know, like there's so much shit going on. You know, like in the past it might have been different, but now you could see a bajillion movies between, you know, like the one fight and then the next fight. You know, like I don't want to wait that fucking long for a fight. I'm sorry.
Right.
Especially if it's the best. If you're the best of your sport, you should be wanting to fight the other best of your sport.
Facts. That's why I think, you know, I've said this multiple times, but it's like I feel like, you know, that's what takes away from boxing right now in the moment. You know what I mean? And why so many people lead more towards the UFC for their combat sports entertainment. You know what I mean? But like there's still big names out there in the boxing world, and it's like we want to see that. You know what I mean? So it'd be better to see that than to not to see that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
But we'll see what happens. But yeah, shout out to Shakur, and big W for him. Unanimous decision. Went the full 12 rounds, but
yeah, word, man. Congratulations to you, man. Congratulations to you.
Thanks.
And then after hearing what Fat Joe had to say about his dad, basically I you know, I don't feel bad.
Right. Before we end the show, I want to, you know, you seen the hat Annie on music, you know, former guest up here up on the Jones Hour. We show love, you know what I mean? He been doing his thing on, check him out, Annie on music on YouTube and TikTok. Been dropping a lot of some of your favorite verses from all types of hip hop people and your favorite artists and whatnot. Now, you know, he's made his own custom beats to some of those favorite verses that you know of different artists. You know what I mean? And been dropping little snippets and tracks here and there and whatnot. So, and he's always been showing love to the Jones Hour. So I want to show him love as well. So I had to bring the hat out, which he gave me. You know what I mean? When he was on the show, you know, and I had to represent him, you know. So shout out to you, my brother. Keep doing your thing. We see you out here, and you already know. But yeah, man, another one wrapped up in the books.
Yeah, I was for a second I was trying to find my Annie on patch, bro. Like I was looking around my room real quick to see if I could find it. I have like 2 of them somewhere.
Yeah, so do I.
But yeah, shout out to you, Annie. You're the man, bro.
Word.
We appreciate
Facts,
you.
bro. Facts, my G. Facts. And yeah, that's it, bro. So and Acid, my brother, always a pleasure.
My guy.
You already, everybody that's fuck with us, I appreciate you checking the live. You already know. Now we got it, you know, IG and YouTube. Next to come is it's probably going to be the TikTok and Facebook. You know what I mean? Just going live on all of these different platforms at once. You know what I mean? So you could easily find us. You know what I mean? And if you do miss the live, you already know it's on the Spotify, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Apple, and Audible apps. You know, all you gotta do is search the Jones Hour. And ask it again,
Yes,
my
sir.
brother. I appreciate you. Follow us
My
on
guy.
on the gram and all of that shit. The Jones Hour. Peace. Love.
And we out.
So. Sammy Sosa, go ahead.